I had seen a little bit of a teaser, or someone had gotten the new MacBook, and it looks almost, other than the fact that it is now like they're graphite or like they're gray. They claim it's black. Apple can never make a black product. Fight me if you think I'm wrong, but other than the color, they are or it seems to be that their MacBooks are very much mimicking their like 2010 MacBooks, where they're like very rounded corners. It has the longer extension plug, with the dot where it like lights up if it's green or red, and it has like the dots on the bottom. Here, I can present what it looks like on the Apple website. Not that it doesn't really show very well, but you see how round these. Can you see it?
Yeah.
See how round it is?
Yeah.
And it has that little tab in the middle. I wonder if it'll show the cord. Wait, here, I guess there's more images here. And it's bringing back, oh, you can't zoom. See how right here on the plug? So I think that's pretty interesting. And then I guess I can stop sharing that. And it kind of just makes me think, like, there was a point where, we were trying to make phones like as small as possible, right? Like the BlackBerry, like you wanted it to fit in your pocket, like you wanted it to be on the go. Now I have a 16 Pro Max, and it barely, like, I can't text with one hand. My thumb doesn't go across the whole, it's humongous, and I love it. But like, it's completely reversed, because at some point we were trying to make phones smaller, we had the big old, I know they were landlines and they were different. They weren't mobile, but I just think it's funny that, everything, the same way with fashion trends, I think it's interesting that it's kind of following a similar pattern in tech as well as fashion. Like, it's all coming back around.
Okay, so I think that I have two thoughts. One is that everything is so like cyclical.
Yes, agreed.
They kind of always do this, where they go back, they ebb this way, then they go back this way, ebb this way, ebb and flow or whatever. But I think I think part of this is that you're going through the first stage of where they're copying the culture of your youth and they're like redoing it, and you're like, wait a minute, y'all already did that.
Like, we've been here before.
Yeah. And like, and then the kids, you'll start to see, I think, like you said, with like fashion, you'll see, like, for me, like at the gym,
things are like rebranded as something like new.
And they're all wearing Nirvana shirts. They don't even know who Nirvana is. They don't know what band that is, but they're wearing Nirvana shirts, or like Biggie, or, something like that. And they're like, I don't know, basic teenage girls, and I don't even think have listened to Biggie ever in their life. They have no idea who that even is.
Certainly not.
That's my perception anyway. And they're wearing clothes that when I was a kid, sometimes that's happened like twice in my life, because I'm so old now. It's getting so old, where it just keeps happening again. And I just keep being like, don't you guys ever have like a creative idea? Like, when does it come? Like, when do you get something new? And I wonder if there ever was, like, because when I've like made this reference to other people who are even older than me, they tell me that actually, like, the 90s was a flip on the 70s or whatever, and they kind of keep going back, and it's just always been cyclical. I wonder. And if there's like, they just take all of yesterday's great ideas, especially Apple, especially lately, like since Steve Jobs' death, I really don't think that they've had a great creative idea since then. It really doesn't feel like much new has come out of them in their design, in their style.
I think what's the most annoying about,
what if we go back? Go ahead.
Well, like with Apple, it's like, it seems as if every time that they introduce something new or roll out a new feature, it's always, you know, it always counteracts like the theory, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like the things that they fix or that they adjust or that they update are always tend to be something that like no one actually had a problem with. Like there are always features that no one cared about. Like people actually preferred them the other way around. So I almost feel like we're coming back to a place of like, hey, let's revive the things that did actually work and that we probably shouldn't have fixed, and like go back to it because it clearly was working. So let's, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, because
I think they're also, to me, they're fighting a different like business. They're employing a different business strategy than they used to. It used to be like be a more creative, better product, offer unique things. And now, in the Tim Cook era, it's more like be a more efficient business, have a more profitable business. And, as a business owner, I'm not trying to like fault the company to making money because of course they have to do that. But, and it's his job, literally to do that. But I do think that like, as a consumer, I preferred, and because I'm stuck in their ecosystem, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not really close to going anywhere. And you were just saying about like, the teenagers are, before the call here today, you were saying that the high school kids that are on your team and stuff are using, or influencers, I can't remember what you said, but they're using like the kind of, they're using digital cameras and coming back and using the tech of yesterday. And to me, that's just because there's just not any better ideas. Like nothing new has come out. It's more like, it's just still, everything still kind of is operating the same. And so there just isn't a new tool. And so they're going back to what is the best way to do it, which is to use a digital camera and then upload it on a computer where you can sit at a desk and you're not looking at a tiny screen and stuff. And they continue to not really innovate. And I think that's, again, it's like, is it even a problem? It's a problem for me, but they're still making more money every year. They're still taking more market share every year, or keeping market share, at least, I think. I'm sure we could look that up, but they're definitely not losing market share. It doesn't seem like, at least in my anecdotal perspective. And so like, I don't know that it's ever likely to change. I think somebody is going to make a disruptor phone someday. But I don't know what features it will have. Those will have to be invented, and I think someone will eventually eat their lunch, because innovation, I think, does win in the long run. I do still believe in like American capitalism. I hope that like a great idea could still surpass, but boy, it would be hard now. You'd really have to know you'd have to do something different for sure. Something way different. So are they reviving the tech? I think.
No, yeah. I don't even think you have to do anything different. Just offer the same thing that they offer.
Yeah.
Like just the simple fact that like everything in the fact that Apple has an ecosystem and everything works together is the selling point for them. Like for me, I've said this, I'll scream it from the mountaintops. AirDrop is my favorite feature in all of the world. Like you cannot tell me that is the greatest feature. So, like I don't know, because I actually really don't know. I could probably look it up. I should probably look it up. Does any other competitor offer something similar that's as easy as AirDrop is, where you just press a button?
No, I mean,
that's why the ecosystem works. No one else offers that. No one else offers iCloud. No one else offers iMessaging, FaceTime, none of that. Offer the same thing. That's why people are using it. Offer the same thing, but a little bit better.
Yeah, the problem is that
I guess now we have group FaceTime, but
it's never a the reason that it can't be, because they're not built the same. Their whole ecosystem isn't built the same. So it would have to be an app that only you could do it with. Like that's a great example of why the Apple has been so successful, but that's not the reasons that we want them to be successful. That's what makes them a better business, not like what makes them make better products, because that type of AirDrop is the type of feature that like they can offer. So it's like really cool, but no one can mimic it because everyone would have to have had the same app already on their phone from Google, or, Google could invest in it too, but it's always that like Google not working with Apple and Apple not working with Google and that whole problem. And I just think they're good at that, and that's cool. Like if you're a shareholder, but as someone who just wants cool new phones, I wish that they went in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.